Hello, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I thought today we could talk a little bit about diamonds. Recently, in a video, I was wearing this ring, and a commenter said, "Tell me about your beautiful ring." And the truth be told, I don't really know all that much about it. It was my mother-in-law's, and my father-in-law gave it to me, and he didn't know anything about it. So that's the story. But when I was kind of researching it, I learned some things about diamonds that I wasn't aware of. And I'm sure a lot of you know all about this, but for me it was kind of new because I'm not really a jewelry person. So let me start how I do. I'm not a geologist or a gemologist or even a collector of jewelry or anything. I just started looking at these diamonds, and then I was like obsessed. So here's a Tiffany ad for diamonds. And right now, Tiffany, the brand Tiffany, is using all real natural diamonds. But their parent company is starting to get more and more into what are called lab-grown diamonds. And that's what part of what we're going to talk about today is the difference between those. And I think it's pretty interesting. Even if you're not into jewelry, I think you might find this interesting. So, let me move this out of the way out then, even though it's like beautiful. So, back in the 1940s, like 1947, in South Africa, there is a company called De Beers who are still around today, and they're a jewelry company. And they were mining diamonds. So they started an ad campaign, and the ad is one that has been around since 1947. Basically, it has lasted that long. And the ad says, "Diamonds are," what do you guys think? A girl's best friend? No, that came later. "Are forever. Diamonds are forever." And the whole ad campaign was, you buy somebody a diamond, it's the hardest stone that there is. It's hard to destroy, and it will last a lifetime plus. You should never sell it. You should never, you just hand it down through your family. A diamond is forever. Or even better, you take it to your grave. You go down with it. Because the idea is they wanted to always have, they didn't want a resale market of diamonds. They wanted it to be something, each one is precious. You should have your own diamond. It's forever. It's a lifetime. It is eternal love. Eternal love. Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, they probably didn't want you to hand it to your family. They wanted you to be buried with it. I think that's probably really what they wanted. But anyway, so the whole idea is your diamonds forever. And they started this ad campaign, and I looked through some of my old magazines, and surprisingly, I couldn't find an ad for diamonds in the old magazines. But they were very successful in creating a market for diamonds for engagement rings, to the point where it just became, if you don't have a diamond engagement ring, are you even married? Are you even engaged? So that's the De Beers company. And for a long time, they had basically a grip on the whole diamond industry. Now, there is a lot of, well, it's true that there was a lot of slave type conditions in these diamond mines. They would actually, all right, I admit I haven't fact checked this, but I saw on Reddit, okay? So take this with a grain of salt. But they would have their mine, they built basically what would be like a company town within the cordoned off area where the mine is. And the people would live in the town, and then work like long work days down in the mines, mining the diamonds. And then every now and then when they were allowed to leave, they had to go through a whole body x-ray or something of that sort to make sure they haven't put diamonds in an orifice or swallowed them or anything like that to carry them out. And they would advertise that to make sure you knew how valuable the diamonds were. Now, whether or not diamonds are as rare as they claim, well, I tell you, now they aren't. Because what has started happening now is they figured out how to create a lab-grown diamond. Oh, shoot. Lab-grown diamond. And boy, is that interesting, because they use these machines that almost look like a big 3D printer almost, right? And they're using actual coal? Is it coal? Anyway, and they are basically just through heat and through pressure, they are creating diamonds in laboratories. And by lab, it could be somebody's place, like with a big printer. I think the image of all these people in lab coats, I don't know about that, but because you can buy one of the printers that you make the diamonds with for $150,000 on Alibaba. And I heard that on a podcast called Planet Money. And it was fascinating because they went onto this. Alibaba is like it's kind of a wholesale site. I've used it for my business. You can buy stuff cheap on there direct from China or India, wherever. But you can buy diamonds on there cheap. Now, some of those aren't. If you're buying one of these and you want to know for sure you're getting what you paid for, you want to look for GIA or my pen's dying. GA certification, and they'll send you paperwork with the diamond. But on Alibaba, you can buy diamonds that they say are lab-grown diamonds. They give you all the specs for it. And apparently that's what one of the people on Planet Money did. He just ordered the diamond for $150, a 1 carat diamond. And it showed up and he was like, wow, that's beautiful diamond. And so they did the tests you can do at home, which is like you take the diamond. It was a loose diamond. Put it in a glass of water. And if it sinks, that's a pretty good sign because diamonds are heavy. Or you take it and you rub it on glass. And if it cuts or scratches the glass, that's a good sign because diamonds are harder than glass, so they can scratch glass. I'm trying to think the other that you feel it, like, and it'll be, I forget, will it be warm or cold? Anyway, you can look it up. There are things you can do to test. So, hold on. I take a sip of my water. I think I have a little allergy going on. So you can do different, at-home tests to see if your diamond is real or not. So they did those and they were like, well, it looks to be real. So then they took it to a lab And I think theirs was, I don't know, is one of these labs that does the official testing or something. And he takes it in there, and she looks at the diamond with her regular loupe, does all the regular tests. They have tests. They can put a little, like testing machine to it. And she said, yeah, this is testing that it's a diamond. It looks like a diamond. It's very clear. It's very high quality. It's white, all that. So then she does these more, extensive testing. And those all test positive that, yeah, it's a diamond. But while she's doing the one test, she can see that, let's say, I had listened to a podcast, so they didn't have a visual, but this is how I imagined it. She could see microscopically, like through a laser beam thing. She couldn't see it with her bare eye, but that there was like a line, I think going this way, like a little line there. And she said what she could tell by that is that it had been, they used heat and whatever to kind of push it. And then they could tell something was going a little bit funky maybe. So they stopped the machine. They kind of sand it off or clean it off or something and start the machine up again. And so you could see this microscopic thing here that you wouldn't see with a natural diamond. And that was like her one indication that this is lab grown. The other indication was, I don't remember exactly what, but like a diamond is made with, in natural, the chemicals of it. Shoot, I should have looked it up, but let's say it's, just pretend, because let's say it's like carbon and nitrogen or something are in a natural diamond. Well, in a lab grown diamond, it's like carbon and I don't know, something else, right? That make it. So it's chemically the same hardness, the same everything, but they're just little, ways they can tell that it's not natural. But you have to have equipment to do that. Crazy, right? It's so crazy. So a diamond, they look at what's called the Mohs, Mohs. I hope I'm saying these words correctly because, I looked them up, but I don't. And the Mohs scale of a diamond is a 10. It's like as hard as a gem can be. And the Mohs scale goes from 1 to 10. And it was created by a guy named Friedrich Mohs in Germany. And he was a geologist. And he came up with a scale. So like talc would be a 1 and a diamond is a 10. Now there's another type of stone called a moissanite. I think that's how you say it, moissanite. And it looks very similar to a diamond. It was originally found in Arizona in a meteor crater. And this guy found it. He was like, oh my gosh, I found diamonds in this crater. But after doing, analysis on it, he realized it's made of a silicone carbide. And if you were to find one from a crater, it's very, very valuable, very valuable. But once they figured out what it was made out of, they're like, hey, we can make moissanite. So now there's a lot of lab-made moissanite, and it has a Mohs hardness factor of 9.25. And this is, do I have to get a new pen? And it is also super sparkly. In fact, it's more sparkly than a diamond. And that is one way where people are like, well, these moissanite are cheaper, less expensive, and I can spot them because they're more sparkly. But a lot of people are like, I like it. I like the sparkly. And they're still super hard. So even though these are like very inexpensive, these moissanite, they're pretty. They're very pretty. I've looked at pictures. And they sometimes get a little more like color sparkle coming off them, I think, if if I'm understanding correctly. Now all this I'm just from looking at pictures online. But what was I going to say about that? Moissanite. I don't know. But like this beautiful diamond that I'm showing you here is a bubblegum ball machine piece of glass, probably, or it might be plastic. It's probably plastic. I think one of my kids maybe got it for me. So don't be jealous. What do you guys think that is? A 1 carat? 2 carat? But what's crazy is now all these people have like 5 carat diamonds, because the diamond part you can get really inexpensive. The most expensive part will be setting it in gold or platinum or palladium. You can get them set in sterling silver, which I considered trying to get one set in sterling just to have to show you guys, or to wear on here, for fun. But I wanted to show you guys one. But in the end, I was like, I don't need to spend money on that. But anyway, yeah, so kind of interesting, I think. I have here, this wasn't a ring. This is like a antique, I think. My great aunt gave it to my grandma. My grandma gave it to me, but it has like little tiny diamonds, but a whole bunch of them set. And I do like it. I think it's cool looking. I think it's really pretty, so I wear that. But right now, it's really thin. And my great aunt had a ring sizer that was like metal, probably from the 60s or something on here. And it rubbed it and rubbed it. So now it's broken. And I haven't quite fixed it yet. Something else I learned when I was looking up stones is that a sapphire, which I always thought was blue, like this, can be all different. It's called like a carboner or something, but this might be a pink sapphire. What? This could be pink quartz. I don't know what it is. There are other things. It could be morganite or something. But sapphires come in, I think red, it's a ruby, but the other colors are sapphire. What? I don't know. It's crazy. I have so much to learn. The other stone, like when I was growing up, pearls were super, like my dad gave me pearls for my high school graduation. And you'd get knotted pearls, and they were very fancy and very, rare. And they were, and they are. But then they started to make simulated pearls, which I think were chemically whatever pearls. So they look so much alike that you can't tell them apart. And it just really devalued the pearl. And I am wondering, once everybody who wants one can wear a big, basically natural diamond, I mean lab grown, but chemically the same, will it devalue the diamond? They say right now, they're saying no, natural diamonds are still, but I'm not sure that's not just the companies trying to push that narrative. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what'll happen. Now, some lab grown diamonds have on the, like inner part, like almost microscopically, they have written on there that they are lab grown, and they give their like GIA or IGA like number, so you know what it is. But not all of them have that, because people are printing them in India and in China and in Sri Lanka and the US. I mean, they're being printed all over the place. Or not, printed isn't the right word, lab grown. I'm thinking printer, but lab grown. Yeah. Oh, I know what else. If you are looking for a diamond, what you want to look for are the 4 C's. And this is whether you're looking for a lab grown or a, I gotta get a new pen, or a natural diamond. I kind of like the idea of a vintage diamond ring, like going to, you know, vintage jewelers or antique stores and looking for a vintage ring. I just think that sounds kind of fun, but also I'm all for having a different type of stone too. Whatever. Live it up. But you guys have probably noticed that I don't take wedding bands very seriously. It's not. In fact, this is my husband. He hasn't worn it. I don't know when. Oh, here's mine. Oh, shoot. That's my wedding band. I rarely wear it. I could wear my husband's on my thumb. That's cool, right? Anyway, so you're looking for the 4 C's, which are cut, color, clarity, and carat. So carat is the size of the diamond. I think mine was like 3/4 carat, my engagement ring that my husband gave me. He bought it at sales in 1993. And he spent a long time looking at the cut, the clarity, all this stuff. He went all around and he ended up buying it there. But one of my cats, he used to like to kind of chew on my rings. And he was chewing on it one time while I was sleeping, and I was kind of half awake going, oh, I wish he'd leave me alone, but I just ignored him. The next morning I woke up, the diamond was gone. It was gone. And I searched that cat's poop forever. I never found it. And regrettably, just recently, I took the ring with the empty, bezel and sold it for the cost price of gold, because I was like, what am I going to do with this? It's sitting around all these years. It's been years. And now I regret it, because I could have bought a very inexpensive lab-grown diamond and had it set in there. So I do regret doing that, but oh well. Life goes on. So carat, now some people think they just want a lot of carats. I don't know like how many carats this would be. This pink ring I have. But if I'm honest, I hardly ever wear this out because it's just too big for my hand, in my feeling. But that's just me. I would never wear a ring that big. You know what I mean? And because it's big, they have to have it sits up really high, and then it catches in my hair and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'd wear it. But yeah, so carat is the size of the ring. There's the type of cut you can get, like a emerald cut, a princess cut, a round cut. There are all these different cuts. The color, I would want colorless. I would want it to be like as white as possible. And then so like to get a color, they have ranges of color. I would look for like a D through F. I think that's pretty colorless. And then the clarity is like the inclusions, which is like little things wrong with the ring, like little cloudiness in there with the diamond, I mean, things like that. So you want to get very few inclusions to have it be super crystal clear and sparkly. And that is usually called like VVS, VS, VS1. I don't know. I keep looking. I'm going, what do all those mean? In carat, this is the size. The cut is like the shape. So you might go try things on and just see what looks good on your hands, because different people, different things look good. I think nowadays I might go for more of a rectangle. I forget what they call that cut. I think I might like that better. I don't know. Do I need to buy myself a diamond ring? If it weren't for the cost of the gold, it's so expensive. Excellent cut. I see that wording a lot. Excellent cut, excellent cut. On Reddit, people were like, get an excellent cut. I'm like, I don't Um, but, sparkly. You want it sparkly. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about diamonds. Please share them because I'm sort of obsessed right now. I keep looking at them, looking at all the different types and makes. I'm like, I am so curious. I'd like to see one in person. I think I may have to go to I have heard that if you go to like your mall jeweler, you're overpaying. That there are a lot of ways to get them less expensive nowadays. But I do wonder, if so many people are able to make them, will the cost just go down? Oh, I know what I was going to say. So, a lot of why people at first were drawn to lab grown is because they were trying to get away from blood diamonds, which are diamonds that were used to fund war conflicts in countries that maybe you wouldn't want to fund their war. And then also some of the slave-like practices that are sometimes involved in the mining of diamonds. So that's how the beginnings of lab grown. They used to be almost the same cost as a natural diamond. But now, because so many places are making them, they're way cheaper than a natural diamond. But it's still a little question mark in my mind about what are the conditions of these labs? Who's working? How much are they getting paid? I don't know. Maybe not many people have to work in them. I don't know. Is it safe? How much electricity and energy is it using? But I still feel like it's got to be better than the mined. But I don't know. I can't speak to any of that. But that's kind of why I like vintage, because they're already done. And sometimes you can get, like, if I could find a diamond ring that had a cool design like that. I keep saying I'm going to turn this into a ring. These are earrings that are old. I think they're just costume jewelry. But I feel like it would be cool to make a ring like that and have a diamond in the middle of it. Who can make me this ring? If you're a jeweler. I do love I think it's called a bezel set. Like this ring, see how that stone is like I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like a round stone and it has a bezel set. What would a diamond look like? Would it not sparkle enough if it were round? This stone got whacked and I think it needs like to be polished up. I don't know. I feel like the setting is so important, I think, to have it be interesting. I have seen some really beautiful set diamonds, like these lab diamonds, because I've been on the websites looking at them. And there's some that the diamond like comes down and then underneath there's like a layer of little tiny diamonds. I'm like, what is happening? That's so pretty. Anyway, I don't know. But I'm very leery of like Amazon. They have a lot of different, I'm trying to pick these up and I can't go. They have a lot of different jewelry on there, but like I don't know if I'll post the video because it kind of didn't work, but I bought these oh, there it is. I was like, where'd my wedding band go? I don't want to mix it in. I bought these silver and gold rings. The silver said it's 925 silver. In the pictures they showed it was marked 925 on the inside. The gold says it's 14 karat gold. I forget if they called it plated or fill, but I don't believe either are any of them. I don't buy that they are any. None of them are marked. I don't think they're silver or gold. They're just some base metals, which is fine because they were $5 shipped, $6, whatever. But don't advertise them that way. And it makes me feel like I wouldn't trust buying like a diamond on there. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Did I forget anything? I don't know. Let's put on every ring I own and see how they all, if we can get them all on at once. If I put that on, it might get stuck. It'll be there forever. Oh my gosh. didn't that look good? Sometimes you see people there wearing that many rings, like Johnny Depp or something. It's like, wow, that's a lot of rings. I can't make them click the way people do. It's satisfying when they do that. All right, guys. Just sharing a little fun stuff. Let me know if you're getting engaged soon. What kind of ring you're getting. Tell me everything. I seriously am contemplating buying myself a diamond and then setting it somehow. I don't know. I wonder what this is made out of. Let's see if it's marked. Oh, it is marked. I wonder if I could take this out and put a diamond in there. What does it say? I don't have my magnifying glass. My husband borrowed it. So it just says silver. It's probably just fake. It doesn't say like. I could put a bunch of diamonds, but I like the sapphires. I wouldn't want to mess with it. This is a pendant. This was my mother-in-law's too. I don't know much about it. I don't even know if it's like. I don't see it says gold, so I doubt it. I don't know what this is, but I kept it because it's kind of pretty. She worked at a department store, so she had a lot of like pretty things around the time. She was also British, so she loved Princess Diana. So she had a lot of like Princess Diana type stuff.